Christ, that's the neighbour's telephone. How loud does it need to be? Anyway, welcome back. What can I say? Perhaps I'm back, perhaps I'm not. I've been away from the videoing for a while. I've been as rough as Larry. Had blood tests, doctor's been out, check this, check that, blah blah blah. It could have been an infection. No, she did. She says she can hear bronchitis on my chest. Obviously, you all know that I've been coughing for a long time, so that's not been helping. It has sort of cleared up in the last few days, actually. It's always when I seem to want to start talking that the coughing starts. Anyway, not sure what it is, but it has been getting really hot over here. 40 degrees in the shade. So whether it was I've been getting dehydrated, not drinking enough, the heat, humidity has just sort of hit me. Not quite sure, but today, it's all gone off. I don't know how hot it is, but it's only in the 20s at the minute. The sun is breaking through. So it's the first day I've been out in well over a week. In fact, I was even a little bit nervous about coming outside, thinking how it was affecting me last time. I was fine. We came out, we was going to dig a paddling pool for the dogs. Tina bought a big tarpaulin. We was going to dig a hole, but I had the grapple on the digger, so we had to swap the grapple over for a bucket. We got We got the grapple off, and we were starting to put the bucket on, and I sort of looked up at Tina, and then the world started spinning. I had to grab hold of something, and that was it. I started throwing up, and it was back indoors for me then. And Tina, she did really well actually. She managed to get the bucket back on the digger, come down here and dig a hole. I'll show you this hole in a minute. It's not massive, but the dogs can't touch the bottom in the middle, so they have quite a good dunking. What do? You got to keep the dogs cool, and so she's even got a bloody deck chair out here so she can watch the dogs paddling about. I said, sod that, I'd be in there with them. Anyway, so that's all that. In other news, we've had the garage looked at. Dad had a look at the garage last time he was over here, and he said, to be honest, really knock it down and start again. So that's the plan. So we've been looking at alternatives, whether to build it in block, steel fabricated building, or wood framed. We think the steel is going to be the best. And there's a firm that do a steel fabricated building, which we could probably put together ourselves, because it's not like the real big girders. It's like quite manageable bits of steel. It might even be aluminium, I'm not sure, but they're all guaranteed and stuff. So if we can get planning permission, if we need planning permission even, which is the next job we've got to sort out, go to the mairie, see what permission we need, get the permission, and we can make a start on that then. Yeah, and the size we're looking at is 7.9 metres wide by 9.9 metres long. So that's like 10 metres long by 8 metres wide, basically. Which I think, for the workshop, with the lift in the middle, you think, that doesn't sound very big to me. But then the Range Rover is only just over 2 metres wide. The lift, I think, is 2.8 metres. So after, you've got quite a lot of space in there after that. And so that's what the route we're looking at for that. And in other news, I jumped in the old car the other day. When I was last out here, and put it in gear, let my foot off the brake, and there was nothing. Normally when it's in drive, it creeps forward, and I think that was even in low range as well. There's no creeping, and you have to sort of take the revs up. So I'm thinking that that's the torque converter on its way out properly now. So Tina was using that car for going, because she prefers, well, I'll say she prefers that car. When we first got it, bloody 8 Range Rovers, they're too big, they're too this, they're too that. Now it's, I really like that old Range Rover. But I've said to her, really, we ought to get this torque converter sorted out before she carries on using it, because the last thing I want is for it to break down on her when we've got a perfectly good car sat on the drive. So she started using this one, the TD-V8, and I think she's got quite used to it now. She doesn't like any of the gadgets on it, but yeah, she likes it. What's not to like? Just needs a bit of a wash, that's all. But it's too hot for that kind of thing. So I'm going to send the drone up, show you what we've been getting up to, because we've done a lot of work in the woods, and we've done a lot of work up the side of the house here, clearing out with the digger. And I'll just quickly show you this pond. There's a little deck chair over there, look. But yeah, it's quite deep in the middle. Dogs seem to enjoy it. What?
Just having a look.
What, seeing how dirty the car is?
Well, it's covered in dust, isn't it?
I really would like to wash it at some point.
Would you? I'll get you the hose pipe up.
Okay. And a long brush.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Still 27 degrees. Right, I'll go for a little drive. See you soon. Go for a little drive around the estate. I've forgotten how much I love this car. We're in low range. I've not bothered with terrain response, but we're in second. Yeah, so just coming up to the woods now. As you said, Tina took a bit of footage through the woods. If you've come here for Range Rover videos, you're not going to be interested in what's going on in our little wooded area. But where we've cleared it all out, we're hoping to get some bluebells growing and some snowdrops and stuff like that. Just so a nice little bit of colour on the floor, basically. We've cleared out most of the rubbish. There's still a couple of bits of standing dead just in some of these places, but I was having a bit of a job getting in there with a digger where it's too tight. Over in this part of the woods, it's quite where I've cleared a lot of the bigger trees out. I say cleared the trees out. If I accidentally knocked into them with the digger and they wobbled over and you could see the roots coming out, I'll just pull them out because they're not going to stay for long. Big gust of wind and they're going to be going. So I have cleared out quite a few big trees. Standing dead, just pushed it over. But I didn't want to take too much out up this end because it's just going to be too sparse. So we've left it fairly sort of cluttered, but with a nice little path going through it. I think what Tina's going to have to do at some point is go through that little section with the little chainsaw and just cut out the standing dead, and we'll just drag it out by hand. Or if she can cut it small enough, I can get the grab with the digger and just pick it up and take it out. But yeah, that's the plan for that. I mean, it's all coming along quite nicely in the woods. The plan was that we was going to get it all cleared and I'd run through it with a flower mower. The flower mower ceased to function. I'll do a video on that later on in the when I'm feeling on top form again. There's a few jobs to do on it, and just to the other two videos I've done on it will show you what a load of rubbish it is. So we've learnt our lesson. You buy cheap, you buy twice. But there you go, you live and learn, don't you? So let's come up round here. Oh, it's because I ain't got my seatbelt on. Up into third gear. I could have just left it in drive and let it sort itself out. But over here we've got a lot of woods on the floor. Mark up the road's going to be having that for firewood, hopefully. Oh, there's Tina and the dogs sat by the old car. Yeah, all this, you've probably seen it on the drone footage. What we'll probably do is, when I'm feeling a lot better, we'll get the grapple back on the digger, do as we did before. I'll pick the things up, Tina can cut it into 6 foot lengths, and they can come and collect it as and when. Just gets it out of our way. If it's stacked up out of the way, it's not so much of a problem then. I'm not going to go through the woods in this car because I don't really want to scratch it. Not that I would scratch it, but Yeah, so this is the field wants cutting really. Not wildflowers growing again. Don't know if Tina captured that on when she came out, but the insects are loving it at the minute, and that's what we want to encourage really. Next year Tina's going to be keeping bees, so obviously the bees are going to quite like the wildflowers, so we're sort of experimenting different patches of the land to see, you know, what wildflowers grow where. We might even plant some wildflower seeds. Over here is going to be the orchard. Not sure what we're doing about that yet, because we've got to see when the trees need planting. Some trees sort of, you know, need planting sort of towards the end of the year, you know, December time, and then other trees it says to plant them at the start of spring. So we've got to decide what trees we want, and then we can work out when we can plant them and all that kind of thing. So that's for the orchard area, which is just over there. But yeah, the wood's really chuffed with that, how that's turned out. We've got a few different specimens in there. We've got oaks and pines, chestnut, which it's a bit of a weed really. Chestnuts, they seem to grow everywhere, but we've got a free supply of chestnuts. If you like that kind of thing. We've got a wild cherry tree in there as well, hawthorn. We've also got a cherry tree down in the main garden. Tina's had quite a lot of cherries off of that, so we'll be looking forward to a cherry pie at some point. And that's about it. It's quite nice to get outside again. It's not too hot today. It's 27 degrees. It's slightly overcast, so the sun's not beating down on us. Let's switch this aircon off. I can't hear myself think. Yeah, the sun's not beating down on us, so it's just a nice temperature today, and it's nice to get outside and get some fresh air, because I've been pretty rough. I did put a post out in the community post thing the other day, just to let people know that I hadn't put any videos out and sort of the reason why. And I had a few comments saying, you know, get well soon, hope you get better, blah blah blah. So thank you for those comments. I've still got the cough, but it is going. I've forgotten how good this car was. It's bloody amazing. Anyway, I'm going to go and find Tina now. She's sat over by the old car. And, yeah. So I've got some editing to do this afternoon. But it's all good stuff. I quite enjoy doing it. And, yeah, so I hope you like this video. It's just a bit of an update, let you know what's going on. If you do like it, please click the thumbs up. That'll help the channel. It pushes our videos up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And from me and Tina over there, I'll show you where she is. But I'll just say bye for now, and we'll go and find her. Yeah. From me and Tina over there, it's bye for now. Oh dear. Right, I've already said bye for now.
Bye for now.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
And
subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Click the bell notification and you'll be notified of all new uploads.
Yeah, you got it.
I've heard it enough times.
Alright. Thank you.